Hey everybody, welcome back. It is the Fantasy Rugby. My name's Joe Begg.
I'm Ben Glauser.
It's the return of the Fantasy Corner. We know you all missed it. Let's just be real about this. And even if you didn't, just pretend you did for our sake, please.
I missed it. I'm not going to pretend.
I
otherwise.
did too. I was like, it was weird to not do a second one for a long time. So
right.
Plus,
this is the one where like you take all the notes for it. So it's like I just have to read my notes out. This is
do all the work.
The one there. It's like, okay, if I'm a little drunk or a little stoned, it's okay. I can get through it. The other one that's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, I got all the writings down, so I don't need no stinking brain cells.
Don't worry about the state of mind I'm in while I'm telling you this information. I was sober when I created
when you did it. Shit. Yeah, obviously. So just for everybody's sake, buy Georgia coffee. This is going to be a big week for some, and some of you had a big week in Autumn Fantasy Nation, Autumn Series Nation. So we'll talk about that. And then
I followed him in a lot of ways this week and did really well this week. So
same. And then TRM upgrades, grab them. You're going to need them.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need them this week because it's number one, you're supporting Restart Rugby, but number two, buys and people that are probably a little banged up after international duty. So just kind of think about that one for a second. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's do first of all, do we know who Froudy is? The winner
James
of our
Froudy? He's one of our Twitter friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, congratulations, James. Well done. He was the top of our Autumn Nation Series Fantasy, and George was 2. He got ousted in the last week.
I
don't know who Fighting Spirit is though.
That I think we do.
Do we know who that is? There's no profile or anything that really helps me out with this thing.
Yeah, I think is that. I don't remember who that is. That might be Terry.
Okay, nice. Well, we appreciate him just the same. And then top 5 were rounded up by you and myself. I jumped in the top 5 last week.
Nice.
The very last week. Got it.
Yeah. I'm happy to stay where I was. Although I had a really good week the last week. So
you probably did well to stay. And you closed the gap. So
right.
The guy that was behind you was Johnny, and he had a bad week.
He did.
Week. He had a very poor week.
Ended up beating him by almost
a couple hundred there.
200. Yeah.
All right. And then looking back at our Champi-Yanks League, we have a wee bit of movement finally. Ben has been unseated by Duncan, and Duncan actually had a really good week the last time we played Premiership TRM. So who the hell do you get? Who the hell do you have? Yeah, McGuigan. That helps.
Yeah, that's a good
Goodrick Clark. That's another one that's up there. A couple of really big ones, and then obviously we had and Benero, that helps too. Then the return of points for lineouts 1 to the jumpers. Hooray!
It is coming back. I think it was 2 weeks in a row now that we've had it. So I'm hoping that stays that way.
Whatever you do or not to keep doing it.
Right, please. We need that.
Yeah, and then Justin jumped a spot in trade places with Carrick. So
I was unlucky. I had captain via Fafita, and he was like
not quite what you wanted out of him.
No, not what I thought. Especially with like Tumaga Allen scored 36, Wormy Willis scored 40. Crossdale was doing well. He had 6 points in 10 minutes before he got knocked out.
Banged.
Unfortunately.
Oopsie.
So it's like, Fafita was somehow my worst.
The one guy that didn't hit.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Because I was never going to captain Crossdale, obviously, but the other two, should deserve consideration too. But of course I had Earl, so that helps. That helps so much.
Anyway, they got the C onto him, did well. So the Champi-Yanks TRM reads like this: Duncan, Ben, Justin, Carrick, George. I closed the gap on George a little bit. Myself, Mark, and Anton holding up the bottom. Anton is our foundation. In D2, I believe there's a little bit of movement in that one as well. Let me just pull it up here. We had a little bit of movement near the bottom instead, though. So top 5, no movement whatsoever, and then we had Bob and Yuri switch places near the bottom there. Larry's still holding it up, but he at least putting up some slightly better numbers now. So Kobus and Franco are still the top 2. John, Terry, Liano, Bob, Yuri, and Larry holding it up. For the FRWs, God, I hope FRD comes back for Champions Cup.
Yeah,
not gonna lie. But for the FRW, last week we had George take down Anton. Duncan beat Ben. I was ousted rather easily by Carrick, and then Mark beat Justin. This week, I believe I have the geek.
I haven't even looked at. Yeah, it's been a while since I've even looked at it.
Right, I've only looked at it today. So it's Ben against Anton. Yes, I have George, who's right at the top right now. Mark and Duncan do battle as well, and then Justin and Carrick are gonna hit it off together for this return to the Premiership. Hooray! And a lot of Friday games, which is weird. I was like,
a lot of Friday games.
Like,
yeah.
that is something I would expect if it was here.
Right.
Because it's a holiday.
It's as if they knew it's Thanksgiving and we'll be off of work. And
like, how kind of you, but also why?
Being firmly attached to the couch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's definitely on
Still
Friday.
On Friday. Oh, Friday's going to be very much yeah.
Yeah. Last day's a good day for me. That's for sure.
Yep. Not much movement.
Yeah. I ain't one of those weirdos that goes to the mall at like 2 a.m.
Oh, no. Or I used to when we were, younger and more athletic and needed to really, we used to do the was it burn the bird type thing. So yeah, where you go into the gym at like 7 a.m. the day after Thanksgiving and work out like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's the bird that I need to burn off at that point. It's probably more the booze.
Yeah. Well, potatoes, all the the heavy shit that it's not so much it is everything but the turkey, really. The stuffing, the gravy.
Yeah, loves the stuffing. Loves the stuffing. All right. Hey, it's that start sit thing that we like to do so much.
It is.
I think I have a first match. Just to do. Bath and that club from Devon, something like that. Anybody know who that is?
Speaking of which, there was apparently the board or the AGM or whatever was today. I didn't see a result of that.
Oh, I'd be interested to see that. I'll have to go dig that up after we're done here. Anyway, so for Bath, Will Stewart, fresh off England duty, he should be a good play this week. The opposition sitting at the bottom of points against props, and he didn't play that much, thankfully. So I think he'll be good to go. Miles Reed, not been super productive, but the opposition give up plenty to flankers, so this could be the week for him to get his start. I expect him fully to be in the lineup, so there's that. Tom Dunn on the other side of the coin. Yeah, the opposition are soft against hooks, but he has not had a good season at all. Only 20 plus once in 4 starts. Not a great rate. If you've invested in Tom Dunn, I highly suggest you don't play him. Mm-hmm. So, and their opposition, Innard and Yandel. Bath are dead last against hooks as usual. These two turn in good days more often than not. So I'd give either one of them a thumbs up if they're in the lineup as that 2 shirt, especially
Yandel. I think in the last Prem match, think didn't Yandel go 80? So
yeah, he goes the distance if he
can do it. Right.
Yeah, he's a workhorse, no doubt. Also, Bath are also very soft against locks. So the whole contingency of locks that exists down in there in Devon. Hill, Lonsdale, Skinner, Whitty, almost all of them score well when they play. So any of those guys, give them a whirl.
Yeah.
On the side of the coin, Jack Monder, he's been very consistent, but believe it or not, Bath have only given up one big game to a 9, and that was Danny Kerr. He scored 44. There's a couple low 20s mixed in there, but Monder's not one of those guys that's super unsittable, so bench him if you can. That would be my advice on that one.
Yeah. Off to the CBS arena. No longer Rico for Wasps versus Gloucester. There's points on offer here. These are not good fantasy defenses. Gloucester are the 10th, Wasps are 11th. For Gloucester, they're strongest versus wings. They're 3rd in points against. Hookers and centers, they're 5th. They're weak against props, locks, and scrum halves, 10, 12, 13. Everyone else, they're kind of in the middle. So for Gloucester, for Wasps, JTA and Augray, maybe Barbary. I hear he was close to being back.
He was close.
but if Augre's your hooker, yeah, go for it. Fafita and Stuke at locks, yup. Shields and Willis, whoever is at 9, and then outside of that, I'd look elsewhere. On the Gloucester side, Wasps are strong versus scrum half, which is important here. They're weak versus props, hooks, flanks, centers, wings, and fullbacks. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity there for the Gloucester side. Except for really at the 9 position, which is important because if you've been using Ben Meehan, he's scoring well, but he has a negative points versus opposition average. So
that's not good.
That's not good. Means he's been playing some soft teams. But Valor Pavaroskin, absolutely. Balmain, if you've got him for some reason, play him. Singleton is in line for a big day. Clark, if he's at lock, especially big day. Ben Morgan and Ben Morgan should do well. Beyond that, it's hard to say because I'm not sure, what Gloucester is bringing to the table. Their best players, like Chris Harris and Lewis Rees-Emmett, are probably not going to play on this one. So
tired, yeah.
And Thorley, I don't know what's happened to him, so I can't really recommend him at the moment.
Off the deep end, unfortunately. Somebody send out a search party.
Yeah.
All right. Bristol and Northampton. So for Bristol, Kerr, Thacker, Capon, any of them are in play this week. Northampton are not strong against. They are a strong defense. Hook is the one place they can be had. They're fourth of the last 5 starting hooks have scored well against them. So I'm comfortable with any of those guys that wear the 2 shirt for Bristol. Also, the King, Joe Joyce. Northampton are 9th against locks. That's their weakest position in terms of fantasy defense. He's currently the best scoring one that Bristol have.
As everybody predicted.
Yeah. Crown the man and play him. Lots of folks.
Who?
Something like that, right? Lots of folks still riding the Piers O'Connor train, hoping that it eventually gets going. This is not the week it's going to leave the station. No. Only one pair of center has scored well against Northampton, and that was in the Midlands Derby with Kelly and Maroney both scoring well. But that's it. There's been like Piers, 1 or 2. I'm not sure, and I don't think this is it.
Not until Rads is back. Not
likely.
His semi. He could be semi's trailer.
Semi. Northampton. The man we know and love as Biggs, Dan Biggers, always a play, but definitely this week with Bristol being 12th in points against fly halves. Possible captain material this week there as well, especially wearing that K. John Augustus, I'm a big fan of this guy. Scored well in 2 of 3 starts. Bristol are soft against 8s. 11th, giving up almost 30 on average and also Yarno Augustus costs less than 200,000. So there's food for thought on that one as well. Any hooker, not Sam Adebisi, is a no-go this week. I wouldn't play him anyway, but definitely not. If he's your hooker, keep your eyes on it and maybe see if you can find somebody else. Bristol they're first against hooks, so that's the problem.
Yeah, and also even if he does play, how long is he going to play? All that stuff.
Same.
Yeah, not the week for your one of, I think maybe your favorite hooker or close to it.
He's up there,
and he's up there for me too. Off to the great north for the Newcastle versus Worcester matchup that you've all been waiting for. Newcastle are 4th overall defense. Worcester are the worst overall defense, as we well know. Worcester are 12th in attack, and Newcastle are 11th in attack. So, but Newcastle have had to kind of shift around a lot of their players, and it's not, due to availability, a little bit of injury. So we'll see, especially this week, if someone like a Radman is back or if he's had a rough camp himself. I don't know. But onto the actual matchups. Worcester, they're really the best position against is props, where they're 4th, and that doesn't really come into play here because I don't think any of you should have Newcastle's props. They're 10th versus a hook, which is also important because many of you will have Newcastle's hooker. And they're 7th versus fullbacks, and then they're bottom 3 everywhere else. So this is not, again, a really bad team and a lot of points on offer from Newcastle's perspective. So again, McGuigan is a big yup. And then the locks and flanks. So nope to the props, but yeah, the locks and flanks. So your Robinson, Peterson, Vandervault, Ferns, Chick. Yes. Whoever's out there, yeah, you feel pretty confident in it. And then Brett Connon, yep. Stevenson and Radwan and Brown, all big goes. They should all score well. or all have a chance to score well. There's probably going to be one or two of them that don't, but
yeah, there'll be a dud in there. That's just how it goes.
Yep. But it's volume. You take your guys where the points where you get them. And then for Worcester, it's really hard to recommend everyone here. The Newcastle are top versus locks. They're second versus wings. They're 10th versus centers, and then kind of mid tier everywhere else. But again, Hines, I don't really see much happening with him this week. Kovacic could get you like 18 to 20, but there's the points that they can give you are available elsewhere is really what I would have to say about that. Venter Lawrence, Morris, maybe Finn Smith could score. Sit Waller and Judge. Well, you should not have Judge at this point. He's not scored more than 10 points in a match yet.
I ditched Waller too.
Yeah, so did I. And then Ted Hill is he's not scoring this year, so
nope.
Give him a hard sit.
Yeah, hard no. Quins and Exiles. For the Quins, Wilco Low. We should see his return to the 15 this week, and it's good timing. Irish are 12th against props. Let BB8 free.
Yes, let him roam.
For the Quins, also a guy that I'm a big fan of, and I mention him almost on a bi-weekly to weekly basis. Jack Walker. He's not quite lit it up on the scoreboard, but has only failed to score less than 20 once so far.
Right, he's solid.
Another solid week for him in line. Irish being 9th against Hooks. Starting Hooks have only scored less than 20 twice so far against them as well. So there's that little food for thought.
Right.
Here's the fun part. Exiles aren't particularly strong against any position, but one player that has me worried for the Quins is Louis Lina. Didn't score well in his last two starts, and Shegan was the only person to put up one of those huge, crooked, yachty numbers that you hope you're going to get from Louis against the Exiles. So right now, my reco is bench him, and I have him, so that pisses me off. Trust me. I haven't until he returns to form
right now with what you're saying.
Right. It's either because you think I'm stupid or you think I'm right. It's one or the other. I don't care which one it is.
Well, it's both, but
not mutually exclusive. So yeah, my reco is to stick him on your bench. On the off chance he goes off, at least you won't be totally out points. For the Exiles, we all know and love Ollie Hoskins, but Will Goodrick Clark is also a prop to play from the Exiles. Decent scoring record, and Quins are 11th versus props. I swear to God, he looks like Bob Parr from like Mr. Incredible from The Incredibles. Every time I see him, I can't help but see that. Also for them, Rory Jennings, assuming Voldemort is still broken, super wild card play out there, but some are without Ford this week and might need one of those super wild card plays. Quins are 10th against fly halves. So there's that little bit tidbit for you. On the other side of the coin, Albert Tuasui, assuming he goes right back to number 8 this week, he's still not my most favorite guy, especially since he's a number 8 only now. Quins are 3rd against 8s. Tuasui usually is near the bottom out of my, weekly rankings of number 8s out and out. And yeah, nope. Just big old nope. If you still have him, find somebody new. Good bench fodder.
And then to wrap up the week on Sunday, the Saracens hosting Sale. Very much going to be a defensive struggle here. Saris are the number 2 overall D. Sale's number 5. And Sale just have a way of slowing the game down. It's not just the way they defend, but the way they just play rugby. So even, your guys who are your volume guys for Saracens, kind of hold back on expectations. The Sailor strong versus props, which is big. Fly halves, which is not, because maybe you'll start Laws, but you can put him at center also, and he'll still score reasonably well. 8s and wings, they're weak versus fullbacks, which is interesting, and fairly mid-range everywhere else. So I'd still say start Mako, Wollstonecroft, especially with the Jamie George unfortunate injury, and he's out for like 10 to 12 weeks or something. So yeah, it's a good time to have Wollstonecroft. He's cheap, and he's going to just rack up points because he's an excellent fantasy player. Cock, I think, still, if he plays, because I don't think he played this past week.
He did a little bit.
He did? Okay.
Yeah.
So probably won't play. So don't worry about him. Don't worry about any other Saracens player prop then. Ezekwe is kind of on my. I'm looking for a down week from him. Again, he's more of a volume type player. Like he gets, a couple carries here and there. He gets a bunch of tackles. He gets the lineouts, especially with Morrow out. But I'm just looking for a down week from him.
Mhm.
Christie and Earl could still score well because they will get a lot of tackles, and they're spree points players. They're the ones who get the line breaks and the tackle breaks and the tries. So they could still score well. Like I said, Laz could still score. Daly is back, likely to mix well with Good at 15, possibly. I doubt Malins is back, but Shagan, as you said, could be huge.
Da-da.
On the sale end, AJ is back, so fuck.
Yeah, leaves us in a precarious position in terms of who we're rooting for.
And it is against a depleted Saracens back line, which is huge because again, it's really just AJ back out there now, especially with the Tuolagi injury.
Yep.
So it's in the backs, it's it's going to be the AJ McGinney show. I guess Gus Warr will be at 9.
God.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd play him against.
Get Raffy back, damn it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd play him against Saris. But then the Dupree, anybody named Dupree should score well. Outside of that, I don't know. For Acker should because he's Acker Vandermeer, he'll do all right. Beyond that, not really feeling it from Sale. Right. As Saracens are the number 2 overall defense, so they're just gonna shut down the Sale attack as much as they can. So it's up to the defense, and the Duprees are the ones who get the most of the tackles. So
correct. I did want to throw this in there, and this is something I forgot to mention on the previous pod. I have a new appreciation. I still hate the fucking guy. I do have a new appreciation for South Africa and what Faf de Klerk brings to them, because watching Reinach and Jantjies this past weekend, if they had Faf, they might have won. And that really pains me to say that.
They weren't. Faf is just troublesome for opponents. That's true. And Reinach is a problem, but he's not troublesome. There's a difference.
Yes.
Like you have to account for him, but he's not gonna really be that dick scrum half that you really sometimes need, especially that
right.
that if you want to beat England, you need a dick at scrum half to really just fuck with him a little bit.
Yeah. No, so I do have an appreciation for how good he can make that team and what he brings to the table and the difference he can make. So I still don't like the fucking guy, but I saw it.
Yeah. I'm saying that his brings dickery, which
Downey stickery. Oh no, not that.
Yeah. I like Reinach better as a player overall, but you're right. Faf brings more than just his play. So it's got to. Oh fuck! I got to deal with Faf now.
Yeah. So to his credit, there you go. We're not on Festivus yet.
Making me angry again.
Of the weeks, start of the week. Fresh off England duty and probably still needing to prove a point. I think this guy is going to carve up his opposition. The man is rapid and just a brace or a hat trick waiting to happen when he's on the pitch. So my start of the week for round 9 of the Prem is England and Falcons flyer Adam Radwan.
He's my start of the week as well.
Fuck yes. All right. I'm not mad about that.
Yeah, he's got a good opponent for it. And
he's at home.
He's just it's like one of those fish to water type situations. The guy just, you give him an inch and he takes a mile because he's too fast. By the time you try to close down that inch, he's
gone. He disappeared. Yeah. He done disappeared.
And Worcester's best wing will not be playing. I'm certain about that.
Duhan.
So yeah.
No, I think I agree as well. All right. Sit. I love this guy for many reasons, but not for fancy purposes of late, especially this week. His opposition are improving defensively and are number 1 against flanks. He himself has also not been a super stellar fantasy asset thus far for this season. So my sit of the week for round 9 of the Prem is England and Saints back rower Lewis Ludlam.
Yeah, that's a good call there. Mine is one of the guys I mentioned in the first match I had. He's a guy who, yes, you can rely on him for points when he's playing bad teams. I don't know what he's going to bring to the table versus a team that really has excellence at his position up and down their roster. So Ben Meehan, I'm not seeing where it's going to happen for him this week.
Yep.
I'll give him a sit.
I agree with that one. I think it'll be.
I think that's a big red
especially
flag
with that big stat that you gave with the points against opposition. Not great.
Right.
And one note about everything here. So yes, all the lineups will be announced, but if you're stuck, especially if you know somebody's kind of banged up a little bit, start guys that are going to play Friday, because you only got two matchups on the weekend afterwards. So if you're kind of tossing back and forth between the two of them, and you're looking at guys that are also possibly injured, and they're in the lineup, but there's a huge question mark playing over them, start guys that are going to play earlier, because at least it's better than eating a duck.
Right.
You don't want that goose egg, man. So that would be that's a thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, and that's it. Like Ben Meehan, he's the number. I was looking at it. He's the number 9th overall in points. Oh wait, no, I'm not even. Oh, it fucking reset on me. Let me see points.
Wait a minute.
He's 5th. I'm sorry. He's Denny Kerr, Alex Mitchell, Jack Maunder, Nick Phipps, Ben Meehan in points.
Wow.
So he's 5th overall, but he has a negative. So it means he averages 10 points or so, whatever it was. It's something ridiculous too. It's not just negative. It's very, very negative. Points against opposition average. So he's playing against some of the worst and putting up good points, but
there you go.
Now he's playing one of the better teams. So let's see what happens.
Absolutely. Agreed. All right. Let's go to pick 'em.
Yes, sir.
No movement from last time. Bath and Exeter. Oof.
I got the visiting team here.
Same.
Because I'm thinking Sam plays because
he hasn't
and I think he's going to be a little angry.
Yep. No reason to hold him back at this point.
Yeah.
Wasps and Gloucester.
I got Wasps.
Yeah, Wasps at home. Hopefully they healed up over the.
Right. If they get,
I know they played Prem Cup stuff, but still.
I hope they're starting to get healthy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy, Bristol and Northampton. Which Bristol team showing up?
I don't know.
That's all I want to know.
But I still like that Saints team a lot, and they'll have Alex Mitchell.
Yep,
and,
undoubtedly. And it'll either be Grayson or Bigger, and I don't mind either one. So,
I would assume it'd be Grayson. I mean, Bigger kept getting banged up.
He always looks like he's dead, though. Honestly, let's be real about this. He always looks like he's gonna come off, and then he stays on for another 20 minutes.
He's like he's a young Johnny Sexton now, like a 5 years ago Johnny Sexton now.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, right?
Where now it's just you're used to it. You're like, okay, Johnny's dead. Okay, now he'll still play. He's dead, but he's gonna play for another 10 minutes before he comes off when he's good and ready. But yeah, Bigger's exactly like that now.
Agreed.
Either way, but even if it is Grayson, they still have a fucking loaded back line there, and Bristol. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. No, I don't know. Yeah, I hope they took the time to recharge, but who knows?
Who knows? We'll find out. Newcastle and Worcester up at the teen.
Oh, I got the Falcons.
Yeah, same home team,
and they're largely unaffected by the internationals in ways that Worcester are not.
Right.
Because
because of Duhan, but
yeah.
Quins and Irish. Quins. It's got to be, because even if it's Will Edwards, even if it's Tommaso Allen, they're at the Stoop. Like it'll be Esther Hazen and Joe Marchant, probably. It'll be Tyrone Green. I still believe.
Tell me you won't be surprised if this game goes to squeaky bum time.
The way the Exiles have been playing, I won't be shocked in any way, shape, or form. Like they seem to just find ways to pull it out of the fire.
That's why I'm pausing before I say Quins.
What are you gonna do? Predict a draw? This ain't footy, man.
It's more that it deserves this. Quins should win this match, but it's not as easy as that.
Right. Well, hopefully they've watched the tape of the last two teams that have drawn against Irish and realize, okay, don't sleep on them in the final 20 because they'll catch you.
Right.
because they do have the ability to, clearly.
And the Quins are turning on at the end too, so they can put they know how to up the pressure in the last 20. So rather than coast like the other teams have been doing. So
stupid series. Yeah. All right. Yep. Speaking of series and Sale, I'm going with the guys in black.
I am too. It's the Sale don't have the back line to stick with a team like this.
No, it'll probably still be a slugfest, but
it will.
I think Sarries will figure it out.
But also Sarries, they're coming off of that lost tie, so
yeah, it feels like a loss that was a tie.
Right.
Yep, totally.
So yeah, it's gotta. Yeah, I got Sarries. They don't lose 2 in a row like that. So
no, I'm gonna call.
It'll be a slog, but they'll win.
Yep, agreed. Okay, as always, love a fantasy corner pod. So we're back, we're rolling. Start sit will come out Friday. Patreon supporters, we will check our show notes in there.
It's up. I will be rejiggering it because there were a couple guys who some of the numbers weren't exactly right for. There was somehow an error in the Worcester Exeter match that I didn't catch till after I posted it. So I'll repost it tomorrow morning. But it's really the raw numbers are fine. It's the points against averages and opponent averages that got fucked up. So
whoopsie.
Yep.
Stupid computers.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll sort that out.
Yeah, we'll get it.
But that was an easy check. It was an easy find because I was looking at some of the players. And it was like Will Montgomery was averaging over 20 points a game, and his opposition average was like 9 minus 40. And I'm like, that's not right.
There's something wrong with that. Hold the phone.
Right. So I went and I checked in. For some reason, the calculation for that one match was off, and I was looking at some of the surrounding matches, and none of them were affected. So I was like, okay, and that was I know how I built the sheet. So I was like, okay, this isn't the worst thing. It was just this one copy paste error. So
blame Ben is what this whole thing is.
Oh, totally me.
This is blame Ben time. Okay.
Yeah. So Newcastle, or was it Newcastle's or whatever? Their points against opposition average is not what it should be. I'll fix it. I'll get it up tomorrow.
All right, cool. So, but yeah, we're happy to be back here. We're happy to be back doing this. We hope that everybody is enjoying this format because I think we like it, and the overall feedback so far has been pretty good. So we do appreciate y'all for hanging out with us and listening to us babble for a bit. We will catch you guys next week, and everybody that is in the United States or that is American celebrating Thanksgiving, we appreciate you, and happy Thanksgiving to you all. Have a good one.
Later.
Yeah.